Welcome to another episode of the Pricing Podcast with the Professional Pricing Society. My name is Megan Ford, and we are excited to bring you all another piece of content in the pricing world. Today, we have an exciting Q&A with Mark Stiving, the Chief Pricing Educator at Impact Prcing. Mark is also a featured breakout leader at the upcoming Spring Pricing Workshops and Conference event this April. This as in 2022 in Chicago, Illinois. You can learn more about this exciting event, the PPS official return to in-person events, when you follow the hashtag PPSCHI22 along all social media platforms, or visit us online at prcingsociety.com / conferences. You can also search the hashtag on our website too. You cannot miss it. So excited for this event and to welcome today's featured thought leader for an exciting round of Q&A, because you're going to hear from Mark live and in person this April, and we want to make sure that all of our listeners are fully abreast of this hot topic. So a little bit more about it. Mark will be leading a breakout session entitled Selling Value, More Deals, Higher Prices, and we cannot wait. This is going to be a hot topic among sales and pricing professionals. A little bit more about it. Salespeople always seem to ask for discounts, but do we really need to approve them? They are told to sell value, but if they don't even know what value means, how are they able to do that? So we are excited to talk with a thought leader again, Mr. Mark Stiving, about the ways that pricing professionals across the industry can help salespeople win more deals at higher prices. And before we jump into today's Q&A, I want to share a little bit more about Mark. Over the last 25 years, Mark Stiving is showing companies how to increase profits through value-based pricing. He has a PhD in pricing from UC Berkeley and the author of 3 books: Impact Pricing, Your Blueprint for Driving Profits; Win, Keep, and Grow, How to Price and Package to Accelerate Your Subscription Business; and Selling Value, How to Win More Deals at Higher Prices. Mark hosts a popular podcast, Impact Pricing, and again, he will be a featured breakout presenter and leader during our upcoming spring conference this spring in Chicago. PPSCHI22 is the hashtag. Without further ado, welcome Mr. Mark Stiving to today's podcast.
Thanks, Megan. It's going to be fun to talk to you, but I got to tell you, I'm really excited about being in person at a conference again. So PPS Chicago is going to be a blast.
Yes, we love that. We want to encourage everyone to register for Mark's breakout session too. And thank you for joining us in Chicago in advance and for today's Q&A session. We're excited to have you. Well, let's jump right into it. Mark, we've got a few questions for you that will lead up to today's topic, to your upcoming topic. The first one, why did you settle on the topic selling value? How is this applicable?
Wow, it's such an interesting question. I've been in pricing for forever, it feels like. And one of the problems that we pricing people often have is we can set prices, and yet for some reason our salespeople seem unable to sell the deals and win at the prices that we think they should be winning at. And when you think about it, why is that? A big reason is we as pricing people have spent all of our time trying to think about value-based pricing and what does value mean. But our salespeople don't do that. They don't understand value the way we do. And so I took everything that I've ever learned about value and how buyers perceive value, and I said, how does this apply to sales? How could we help salespeople be more effective at their roles?
Well, that seems like 1 + 1 = 2. We're excited to have that valuable content. So we know, overarchingly, pricing professionals aren't primarily dominating in the sales industry. And so a little bit more insight as to why professionals should care about selling value.
I think a big answer to that is, what do you think not you personally, but what does a pricing professional
Not me.
think their role is? What's their objective? And if their objective is just to put a number on a product, then maybe they don't really care. But if their objective is to help companies win deals at higher prices, then we need to work with every department inside our company that we possibly can to help the company perform better. I often think that we need to work with product managers and development so that we can create products that have more value because we understand what value means probably better than they do. We need to help with marketing people to help them communicate value to the marketplace in ways that resonate with the market because we understand what value means. And the same thing is true when you move out to the sales world. How is it that we could help salespeople understand what value truly means so when they're told to go sell value, they can do a much better job at it? They can be much more effective.
That makes sense. Thanks, Mark. We've got a question. Can you go into more detail around the ways that selling value is different from an ROI calculator or a return on investment calculator?
Sure. ROI calculators are pretty awesome devices. We as pricing people love them because essentially what we're doing is we're putting together a tool so that sales can walk out, gather some information from a customer and say, hey, if you buy our product for $1 million, you're going to make $100 million. Isn't that a great deal? You should go buy our product. And having these calculators is valuable. The problem with the calculator is customers don't believe it. They think we're trying to trick them somehow. They think there's black magic, or we're not telling them the whole story, or something weird is going on. But once our salespeople understand what value really means in the customer's mind, we can learn to have value conversations. A value conversation is really, as a salesperson, I want to help my customer tell me how much value there's going to be, which is very different than me telling the customer how much value there's going to be. I often think that customers, there's no way they know how much value they're going to get from our product. They just don't know our product well enough. They haven't experienced it as many times as we have. On the other hand, there's no way we know how much value our customer is going to get from our product because we don't know their situation well enough. We don't know all the specifics. But what if together, the two of us could jointly determine how much value is really there? That helps our customers a lot because it allows our customers to be able to sell the project up the hierarchy if they need to. It helps them make smart decisions. Is this a product we really need to buy into or not buy into? It helps them sell products across other departments inside the company if necessary. So helping our customers understand value is really key. And at the same time, we're helping them, we're learning how much value is really there. So this is a huge win-win for both of us.
I like that. So it's really ROI for both, and then in turn helps you to further and deliver an increased amount of value. I like that a lot. Okay, we've got another question for you, Mark. How can other departments outside of pricing, help with salespeople, or how can we help deliver value or sell the value?
Yeah, that's a really interesting one because what ends up happening is we have to understand how it is that our buyers perceive value. And as we start to learn that, then we can figure out what are things that we can do inside our company. I already mentioned the three big ones. I like to say the words create. We create value, we communicate value, we capture value. And it's probably pretty easy to say that product management needs to create products that really have value in the marketplace. And if we understand the way our customers are perceiving value, we could create products that have more of that value. Our marketing departments need to be able to communicate that value. So they want to fill the funnel with people who really have the problems that we can solve and where the problems are really onerous and they would pay a lot of money to solve them. But that happens when marketing understands what value means as well. And so marketing has this ability to communicate value differently than everybody else does and to a broader market. So I think there's a lot of people in the company that really need to be helping salespeople in terms of this creating and communicating value so sales can go capture it.
Great points. And those provide great opportunities for more improved and efficient work together. So that's awesome, Mark. Thank you. So final thoughts and final ask, what exactly can attendees expect from your delivery during your pricing breakout session at our spring conference? What do we have in store?
Oh my gosh, there's so much I want to share in the 30 minutes I have to talk. Here's what I'm going to share with everybody. There's some pretty fascinating ahas about how customers discover value. So how do they go about making decisions from, hey, I have a problem I need to go solve, to I'm going to go buy this product? And in that journey that they go through in learning about value, they go through some different stages, and maybe there's a different journey or two they could take. And I'm going to help people understand not only what that journey, what several of those possible journeys could be, but what are some of the things we can do to help not only our customers, but also our salespeople figure out how do we help our buyers go through that journey.
It's going to be an incredible time, and I know that attendees are going to get more than they bargained for. So you've heard it here first. It's going to be an amazing break session, and be sure to register for Mark's Stiving session. It's going to be one for the record books. Mark, any final thoughts for our listeners as to where we can find you, learn more information about this topic or any others that you'd like to share with the community?
Oh, thank you, Megan. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm very prolific on LinkedIn. I'm there a lot. And you can also go to our webpage, impactpricing.com, where almost every piece of content that I put out is put on that webpage on the homepage. And if you don't already, would you please listen to my podcast, Impact Pricing? And I constantly interview other pricing people to learn what's going on in their minds and just explore new and interesting ideas.
Thank you so much. And we'll definitely continue to promote the podcast as well as your upcoming appearance this spring. We cannot thank you enough for your time today, Mark. It was valuable. We're excited to see you in person next month. We're counting down the days, and we invite you back anytime. It was awesome. Final thoughts, everybody. You enjoy your life in pricing and your time in pricing. Visit us at prcingsociety.com. That is my departing call to action for all of our listeners. Please check us out, prcingsociety.com, for more information about today's guest, the upcoming conference, our online education, the CPP designation, Certified Pricing Professional designation, and of course, our membership for our global pricing community. Thank you all again, and have a great day. Bye-bye.